Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to be going over the 10 books that I read in the month of April. We're just going to go quickly through them all, maybe give a little bit of an opinion, a quick little overview, and my ratings on Goodreads. And yeah, and then we'll go through the 2 books that we're going to be reading in my unofficial Black Girls Book Club, and I will leave the link to that down below. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. And if you read any books in April, or you have any books on your list that you want to read in May, please let me know in a comment below. So first, we will go through the books that I don't physically have with me. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my cell phone. Oh no, I'm looking for my notebook. Okay, it's fine. First, we'll go over the 3 books that I don't... Wait, 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First, we'll go over the 3 books that I read but I don't own. Sorry, let me just pull up Goodreads here. Okay. So, books that I read that I don't own. The first on the list is Wild Girls by Riley Sager. No, not Wild Girls. Final Girls by Wiley Sager. This book is a thriller. It follows mainly the life of one final girl who is a person who survives a really intense massacre, and that's the one who lives to tell the story, basically the girl at the end of everything. And it follows one particular one from a massacre, and how she's trying to get her life back together. And she also coincidentally can't remember much from what happened much from the night that everything happened. So we have her, and then we have another final girl who is who randomly shows up on her doorstep when another final girl has committed suicide. So it's 3 final girls in the book. We're following the main character, and the main character starts interacting with kind of like a sub character when another main character, you know what, I have a video that explains all of that. Just go watch the video. I'll make sure I link it down below. I did listen to that on no, did I listen to that on? I think I listened to the audiobook, and I had the physical copy. I borrowed it from the library. That was not my favorite book. I didn't read very many thrillers this month, which is strange because I love a good thriller, but I only read 2, and that was the first one. And it wasn't really it for me. I didn't enjoy it very much. It wasn't that it was predictable, it was just that it was boring. So I rated that a 2-star. Unfortunately, on Goodreads, that just wasn't me. But if you're interested in long, convoluted storylines, then you should definitely check that one out for sure. The next one that I read that I don't own is Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is book 3 in the Rose Hill series, and in this one we follow a woman and a man, well, not obviously, but a woman and a man. The setting is in Canada, as all Elsie Silver books are, and she is trying to fight for custody of her nephew after her sister has passed. But for some reason that she doesn't understand, her sister left custody to the man, the male main character in the story, who was also her neighbor at the time. So we're following their journey. We're following what they're gonna be doing in order to keep some sense of stability in the kid's life, but also, you know, it's a romance, so they do some things, and they, you know, they end up in very close proximity to each other, just for the kid, supposedly. And yeah, we're gonna see them sort through their problems, and I like that book. I think I gave it 4 stars, and if I didn't give it 4 stars, I'm gonna give it 4 stars now. It was good. It was sweet. It's typical Elsie Silver formula. A strange storyline. Not strange as in like awkward, just strange as in like new to me, because I've never read a plot line where these are the type of characters that we're following. So yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. I read it for a 24-hour readathon, as I did with a few of these other books, and you will see all of those in, I don't know which video, but in an upcoming video. So yeah, that was Well Sad by Elsie Silver. I liked it. It was cute. It was sweet. I don't think I would read it again. It's not my favorite Elsie Silver. My favorite Elsie Silver is the Chestnut Spring series, and I just started rereading that, or I'm about to start rereading that. So that's that one. The final book that I read that I don't own, that I borrowed from the library, is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. As it says, we're following sisters. All of their last names are Blue. That's why they're called the Blue Sisters. And we follow each of them individually. I can't tell you. Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, yes, we can tell you. We follow, so there's 4 sisters initially, which you'll see from the cover, and one of them dies. But all of the other 3 sisters have very, very wildly different lives. They're basically estranged from each other. But following like a year after their sister's death, I think it's like on the anniversary, their lives just individually start spiraling, right? Like they're just trying to, it's not like a romance, obviously. It's like a sister story, but there's a lot of personal growth, individual growth in there, where people are trying to figure out their lives, and they're kind of using the memories of their sister to, I guess, propel them forward into having a reason to change. We follow the baby sister, who is a model. We follow the second eldest sister, who is she's a boxer, I think. Yeah, she's a boxer. And the eldest sister is a lawyer now. So we follow all 3 of their journeys. It doesn't sound interesting the way I'm explaining it, but it is so good. I am slowly turning into a literary fiction girl, and I enjoy it just because there's drama. Like, it's bare drama. And when you're listening to drama and you're just doing other things, and you end up just stopping and waiting for the scene to end, that's how you know it's good. And I did that many a times in this book, and it's actually very funny as well. She also does use some words that I've never heard of in my life. Her and another book, I also read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and she used some words that I never heard of, so it was good, like vocabulary expansion as well. So I rated that one. How much did I rate you? Well, I rated it 4 stars. In my mind, in my heart, it's 4.5, but I'm gonna rate it a 4-star on Goodreads. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I read that I don't own. And on to the fat stack behind me. Look at me getting through my physical TBR. Are we proud, or are we proud? We're proud, aren't we? So these are the 7 books that I own that I read. Actually, it was originally 6, but one of them I read from the library, and I had to buy it. I had to buy it. You see the one with the tabs? One with all the blue stuff sticking out? I had to buy that book, but we're not there yet, okay? Or are we? I don't think so. Anyways, let's just go through the stack as it is. First, we have Verity by Colleen Hoover. This book is a wild ride, okay? This is the only other thriller of the month that I read. And we're following this author named Lowen, and she's agreed to be the ghostwriter for another author named Verity, because Verity is currently incapacitated. She's sick, and she can't move, she can't breathe on her, well, she can't breathe on her own. She has the mind of a 2-year-old, they describe, and she can't really move around. She can't walk apparently because she got into a car accident. So Lowen was tasked with completing her series of books that she was contracted to write. And so she goes to her house in the middle of nowhere, with Verity's husband and kid, and the nurse is there and everything, and she's in the office, and she is okay, good. She finds a manuscript that details a lot of things about Verity's life, and basically it's kind of like a spiral from there. From once she discovers the manuscript all the way until the end of the book, it's a spiral. This book is a mind-bending, twisty, thrilling. I'm so happy I read this. I'm so happy I chose to read this in a 24-hour readathon, because it really went by super quickly. Lowen is insane, Verity is insane. At this point, even the kid is insane. Like, this was a 5-star read for me. I would 100% reread this if I didn't know what the ending was. The second book, what's on my book? Why is there, oh my gosh, something spilled on my book. No. Oh well, such is life. The next book we read is Daydream by Hannah Grace, the third book in the Maple Hills series. In this one, we're following Henry and Hallie. We're following Henry and Hallie. Henry, everybody's speculating, is on the spectrum. He's a little weird, but whether or not he's on the spectrum is up to the author and whether or not she chooses to write him that way. In the beginning, it says that he's not on the spectrum, but once you see his behaviors, you can make your own judgment. I see a lot of myself in Henry. He's very weird. He's very particular. His habits and his preferences are very unique, and I enjoy that. I loved seeing that in a book. And Hallie's also a sweetie pie. So basically, Henry is tasked to help her experience a bunch of romantic firsts because, you know, she's been with one man her entire life until she's like 21, and they just broke up. And so now she's entered a writing competition as a part of a new, you know, version of herself, where she's finding herself and doing the things that she wants to do. But she's writing a romance book, but she hasn't really experienced romance. So Henry's tasked with helping her, and she is a genius in college, and she's helping him with one of his classes. All the other classes he's amazing in. He's also the star. He's also the captain of the hockey team, which also plays a part in kind of like his behaviors and his thought processes and everything. So she's helping with the class, he's helping her with romantic firsts, and you know, it just goes from there. It's really cute, it's really sweet. To be honest, I think I preferred this one to Icebreaker. I think it goes Daydream, Icebreaker, then Wildfire for me personally. So I think I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads, and I think that's appropriate. I liked it. It was sweet, it was kind, it was nice, and I love seeing a little bit of a weirdo as the main character, because weirdos deserve main character energy too. Oh my goodness, what the heck? What the heck happened here? This is my favorite book of the month, and I don't know when I dropped coffee on it, but I think I spilled coffee on it. Maybe I can use a wet cloth to wipe it off. Anyways, we read Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi, and I loved this book. You see the tabs? You see the tabs. Love this book. Ate it up. I read it, I think, in a 24-hour read. No. I just read this randomly. No. I read this in a reading authors that are new to me video, which is already up. So watch that video. I'll link it down below. And we are following Dr. Jojobi and Malcolm and what's his name, Ezra. So this is Dr. Josephine, I think is her name, Josephine. This is Malcolm, and this is Ezra. And basically she's been in love with Ezra her entire life, and then one day it finally comes to a head and she tells him, and he is just, his response is messed up, to say the least. But coincidentally, on the same night where she tells him that and she feels rejected is the same night when she meets Malcolm hiding out in her bedroom. It's a party. He's hiding out in her bedroom because he just didn't want to be there, I guess. And so we follow kind of like their love journey and her personal journey and their friendship journey. It's literally 3 different journeys, and it's amazing. I loved it. It was romantic, it was insightful. It's great to see a woman being loved who isn't perfect. It's great to see a man being loved who isn't perfect, and it's great to see people choosing themselves, and in choosing themselves they're also choosing their partners. So I love this book. This book is, I think this was my favorite book of the month. I think I'm calling it now. It's between this and one other one, but I think I'm calling it that this is my favorite book of the month. So Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. Okay, The next book is actually the book I read the most recently. I just finished this book yesterday, and this is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my first Taylor Jenkins Reid. Her name is a tongue twister, or maybe I'm just talking too fast. This is my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I see the hype. I understand the hype. Basically, we're following this girl. What was her name? Hannah. This is where I got Hannah from. We're following Hannah, and she is moving back to LA after being away from home for maybe like 10-15 years or something like that. She travels around the US a lot. She doesn't really put down roots, but she's decided to come back to LA as her roots. That's where she was born. And so one night when she's out celebrating, because she just came back, she's with her homies, she meets up with her ex-boyfriend from high school, right? And she's always felt in her heart that this was her person, this was the guy for her, da 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 da. So it gets to a point in the night where, so she's there living with her best friend until she finds a place for herself, because she just moved back, right? And so it gets to a point in the night where the best friend comes up and she's like, hey, we're gonna head home now. Well, do you want to come home, or what do you want to do? And at that point, we follow, the story splits into two. We follow her going back home and being her version of a responsible adult, and what happens in that timeline. And then we also follow a timeline where she says, nah, I'm gonna stay with Ethan and see where this romance takes me. Okay. And yeah, we just go from there. We follow the two timelines at the same time, and it's sweet. Either one you prefer, they're both sweet, they're both cute, they're both a little bit psychotic. There's some things happening in there that you would not have expected to happen, but also at the same time it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I loved it. Hannah as a main character, she's a weirdo, but the dude, Ethan is a solid dude, solid catch, okay? And in both of the lives, she's found a soulmate, so what could go wrong, right? If it ends the same way, right? I give this a 5-star. I listened to this book and I read it at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my feet. I listened and I read it at the same time, and I loved it. It was funny, and like I said, she introduced some words to me. I love expanding my vocabulary. I am a nerd, in case you did not know. And yeah, would I reread this? I don't know if I would reread this necessarily, but I would definitely reread more by the author, which is good because I have 2 other Taylor Jenkins Reid books downstairs ready for me to read. The next book, which I think is the first book that we read this month, is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I did read this in a vlog, which is already linked down below. And in this book, we follow Lucy, who is a hopeless romantic, and she calls into a radio station and talks to Aiden. Who does not believe in love. She doesn't call in, by the way. Her daughter calls in for her, and obviously she snatches the phone because it's a late night radio station. What are you doing awake talking on the phone with a man? So she snatches the phone from her, and she ends up having a conversation with him, and the conversation goes viral, right? And so the radio station, yes, the radio station employs her to be his co-host for a little bit while she tries to find her dream man, because that's what their conversation was initially about. So we get to go through the journey of her finding her dream man, and I can't tell you. So it says Lucy must make the final decision between the radio sponsored Happily Ever After or the man in the headphones next to her. So you can tell they're gonna spark a little bit of romance. She's also gonna be having perspectives from the outside, and we just get to follow her little journey, his little journey. It's very cute. I gave this one a 4 stars, I believe, on Goodreads. It's cute, you know, it's cute. That's it. It was cute. It was a fun time. It was a fun read. It's very slow in the beginning because they really take the time to set up like the energy. Where are they? Are they in Chicago? They're in Baltimore. They really take the time to like set up the environment and the atmosphere and everything. And I mean, to some people it's really appreciated. For me, not really so much. But I'm more of a plot than a setting type of girly. But if that's your style, this would probably rate higher for you. But Vicky Morrison, I would read more. I don't know if I would reread it, but I would read more. And I love that cover. The next book on our list is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I think that's how you say her name. Cinderella is Dead. I love this cover, first of all, even though her eyes kind of look a little bit demonic. She looked like she's seen some things, which she has. This is a Cinderella retelling of basically, we now live in a time where Cinderella met her prince, and she's passed now. She's dead now. Both of them are dead now. And so now in honor, she's basically like an icon in the kingdom now. And so to pay homage to her, to honor her memory, every year, you know, they have a typical very Hunger Games-esque type thing where you offer up, or all of the girlies are on display for the men of the kingdom to choose from. And except her, she said, this is not for me, right? She says, I do not want to be offered up on no platter to no man. And we see her journey trying not to be offered up on a platter to no man. She makes some enemies, she makes some friends, and we go through her journey as she, you know, tries to get rid of this stupid archaic rule. She's trying to basically change the world in this, and she's on a quest to change it and overthrow the king, and we follow it. I gave this book a 3 stars. It's a YA not fantasy, I guess, kind of dystopian. It's not really, I guess it's kind of fantasy. Yeah, there's magic involved, but it's not really like super fantastical. It's more about the quest and the journey and stuff like that. So this one got 3 stars. And I guess if you're in the mood for something chill and not that, doesn't take that much brain energy, then you should read this. This is cute. The final book on our list is Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop. I like this book. This is a really good book. Apparently it's a part of a series. I don't know who else is in the series. But we are following, is it Rome? I was supposed to say Mal. His name's not Mal. We're following Rome and Janelle, and Janelle's sister is getting married. Rome's best friend is the groom, right? Follow me. The groom, which is his best friend, which is the fiance, is her ex-boyfriend, right? And so everybody's thinking, oh, it's her ex-boyfriend, she's so distraught that but she's really not. She really doesn't care, right? Her friends know that she doesn't care. Her family thinks that she's in distress and hiding it very well. And so since her friends know that she doesn't really care, this guy, who is groom's best friend, mind you, says to her, listen, I've been feeling you for the past however many years, okay? She doesn't want to admit it, but she has been interested in him as well. They're on a vacation before the wedding. Like, the whole wedding party is on a vacation to chill out before the wedding. And so they agreed to the terms, hey, only for the week before the wedding, when they're chilling, let's just give in to our feelings. Let's just give in to our desires and our thoughts and everything. We're in vacation. We're in paradise. Let's take advantage of it. Let's be sexy on the beach, basically. Let's be sexy on the beach and get to know each other, because obviously they didn't know each other because it was her ex's best friend. Like, she wasn't paying attention to him like that. So we follow their week, and then we follow afterwards. And it's cute. It's beautiful. I think I rated it. In my mind, I rated it 4.5, I think. No, I think I rated it 4 in my mind. But on Goodreads, I think I put 5. But I would probably read more by this author. Would I reread this? I think I would reread this. Except the title pages, like this is the title page. It's hard, it's very difficult to read the first page in the title page. But also, I was reading it at night, so maybe that was my fault. And I don't wear my glasses enough, so that's probably the reason why it was difficult to read. But I loved that book. The book was so cute. It's a lot about family relations. It's a lot about learning each other in relationships. It's a lot about personal strength. I think that's a theme with the romances that I enjoy a lot, where it has like multiple themes connected to it, not just the love story. You know, those are my favorite. So those are the books that I read this month. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you didn't, that's okay. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.